Ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys are back off of the bye week and off of some unforeseen tragedy that everyone knew had happened with Marshawn Nealon. This will be the first time that the team is taking the field after the tragic passing of the defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sure emotions will be running high. The team is going to want to play in his honor, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of 94 stickers on the helmets and ways that different players are going to be honoring the legacy of Marshawn Nealon. But it's also the first time that the team is taking the field post the bye, sitting at 3-5-1 against a Las Vegas Raiders team that is sitting at 2-7, doesn't do much well, but that doesn't matter when you're playing the Dallas Cowboys because every other team seems to play their best game against the Cowboys. Just ask the Arizona Cardinals, who have lost 7 of their last 8 games. The only victory against, you guessed it, the Dallas Cowboys, which they beat down to a pulp. This is the first time that the Cowboys are heading to Las Vegas for a regular season game. I'm sure the stands will be packed with Dallas Cowboys fans. Shout out to Jay Tuck. Sorry, I know that you had tickets. You were looking forward to it. Vegas is your spot. Had a little bit of a injury scare. Glad you're okay, my friend, but saw that you had to sell your tickets and you're not going to be in attendance. The Cowboys will be missing you there, but we just hope you get better. That's the number one thing we care about. But Cowboys are a 3.5-point favorite on the road in this one. And not only is it the first time that the Cowboys are going to be playing since the bye, we got a lot of names, especially on this Cowboys defense, that are either going to be making their season debut, their team debut, or coming off the injured list. So I'm going to rifle through some of these names and the impact that they should have on arguably one of the worst defenses in the league. Do I think the additions of these players are going to make them a top 10 defense? No. But they could make the impact that could help this team down the stretch, because we know after this week is when it really hits the fan in terms of what is coming to end this schedule. Like I said, the Raiders are sitting at 2-7, not doing much of anything good. Geno Smith has looked like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Pete Carroll looks a little lost. The defense seems to be beat in many different ways, except for Max Crosby and a couple other players. This defense can be had over and over again. So this team is beatable, which means this game must be got for the Dallas Cowboys if they want any hopes of the playoffs. Sitting at 3-5-1, I said it last time I was on the air. I don't fully see a path to the playoffs, a path to the wild card, especially after the Eagles took another stranglehold on this division and possibly the number 1 overall seed in the NFC, beating the Lions at home. Eagles don't look fantastic on offense, but now it seems the addition of Jalen Phillips and that defense is turning around, stifled Jared Goff, or maybe that was Dan Orlovsky, and the Detroit Lions in Philadelphia last night. But the reason that this game needs to be won if you are the Dallas Cowboys, after the 2-7 Raiders, we have the 8-2 Philadelphia Eagles in Dallas. Then on Thanksgiving, the 5-5 Chiefs, coming off a massive loss yesterday in Denver, but it's Patrick Mahomes, it's the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. Even if they're down, that's terrifying. Then the Lions in Detroit, who are sitting at 6-4, but a much better team than their record is showing. They've had a ton of injuries on defense like they always have, and you have to go to Detroit. Not fun. Then you have the Vikings, who are sitting at 4-6, but again, a really good defense, and you never know against this Cowboys. Then the 7-4 Chargers in Dallas, and then you end the season back-to-back division games with teams that are struggling, with the 3-8 Commanders and the 2-9 Giants. But that gauntlet after this Raiders game is just that. It's a gauntlet. So, like I said, any chance of the playoffs needs a win tonight especially after the games that the Cowboys gave away earlier this season. Carolina should have been a win. Arizona should have been a win. The Bears at that point should have been a win. You win those 3 games and you're sitting 6-2-1 ish. It's a much different conversation than we're having than sitting at 3-5-1. But that is who they are this year. So that is why on the road in Vegas, a 3.5-point favorite, I'm not penciling in a W here whatsoever. But the reinforcements are here. Whether they were traded for, activated, off IR, or making their season or team debut, I think there are ways they can help. Let's start with the guys that are coming back off injury. Malik Hooker has been activated from that toe injury and should be on the field tonight. I'm not saying Malik Hooker was playing balls to the wall, all pro before he got hurt whatsoever, but he can add an element to the safety room that needs it. Simply, they just need depth with all the injuries they've had at safety. So the addition of Malik Hooker can be a positive one. The other additions, one making his season debut off injury and the other making his team debut off injury, Demarion Overshown and Savone Revel. I always want to say Siobhan Revel. Savone Revel. We all know what Agent Zero is. We know what Overshown brings. Just his ability to help guys line up is going to help this defense tremendously. If you watch him on the field, he may not have the green dot, but he's always that guy running up to the line, shifting the defensive tackle over, talking to the cornerbacks of where they need to be lined up, the other linebackers. He is an extremely intelligent player on the field, off the field as well. So I think that's going to help the defense just in an alignment perspective at that. And that's at the floor. The ceiling for Overshown, if healthy, is unbelievable. He was ranked in the offseason as one of the top linebackers in the league, and he hasn't played a full season in the NFL. We've seen the flashes. We've seen the athleticism. We've seen the fire he plays with. I can't wait to see Overshown back on the field. Now, do I think he's going to start and play every snap? No. Wouldn't be smart anyway. I could see them trying to work him back in, get him back into shape so that he is more ready for that gauntlet of a run next week at home against Philadelphia. But just to see him back on the field, see the impact and the energy he's going to bring, it's going to be incredible for this defense. Can't get any worse, right? So I'm super excited. And not only for the impact he's going to have on the field, but just for the person that he is. The road back after tearing almost every ligament in his knee, after tearing his ACL the year before in the preseason. Football gods, if you're listening, can we keep this man healthy so we can see his talent, his athleticism, and his God-given gift on the field every Sunday and some Thursdays and some Mondays and maybe a Saturday and a Wednesday every now and then? This man is so good at his job. It is a shame to have that taken away from him. And the rehab and the mindset and the work that had to be put in for him to get back at this point when people thought, one, he's not going to be back at all this season, and two, maybe he'll never be back again in his career. It's incredible. It's a tip the cap to DeMarvion Overshown. It's a tip the cap to his supporters and his family and to the Cowboys organization and their training staff. Now, is he going to be the player that we saw? I don't know. I hope so. I think the fierceness that he attacked his rehab and his ability to get back at this point, I think he's going to be close to it. I really do. I think he has the mentality and makeup to do whatever needs to be done to be on the field at a high level. So I cannot wait to see the impact that DeMarvion Overshown has on this defense, the run game, the pass game, and absolutely the pass rush game, which we know has been lacking for the Cowboys. Another addition that is coming is Logan Wilson, the linebacker from the Bengals. Only gave up a 6th-round pick to get him. I thought it was a fantastic addition. He's been a captain for the Bengals for quite some time. He has the most interceptions, I believe 5 in the last couple of years for a linebacker in the league, and he immediately leads the team in pass breakups with 4, and he hasn't even played a game for the Cowboys yet. I think he is another smart addition to this linebacker room and this defense for the Cowboys. He is someone that also, like DeMarvion Overshown, is going to help players know where to line up, how to line up. He is a tackling machine. He may have lost a step or two. He's getting a little older in the tooth, but aren't we all? I think he is going to help tremendously. Yes, some people are like, we're getting a linebacker that got benched from the worst defense in the league and added him to the second to worst defense in the league. Yes. But if you look into the numbers of it, the guys that replaced him, if you like PFF grades, I don't love them, but I'll go with them here. One of them is the worst linebacker graded in the league. The other is like 89th, both well below where Logan Wilson was ranked. Has he lost a step? Yes. Is he the linebacker that he was 3-4 years ago? No. But he immediately becomes your best linebacker that has played this year, minus DeMarvion Overshown. And I believe he also was put on the bench for political reasons. We all know that he asked out of Cincinnati. They wanted to see what they had in some of these younger players. And then once they knew that they were shopping him and he was going to get on out of there, they didn't want him to get hurt. So I'm not jumping for joy and having a popcorn pizza party like Tio would tell me to do for the addition of Logan Wilson, but I am excited for the addition of him. I think he is a smart football player that's going to be in the right positions in the gaps and play sound, which is a lot of the reason why the Cowboys have been getting gashed by the run and beat in the pass. We know that they may not match up Joes for Joes, but sometimes it is the X's and O's, right? If your Joes are not where they are supposed to be, any offense in the National Football League is going to beat that if you're not disciplined, not sound. And we've seen that from the likes of Jacoby Brissett, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, and the running backs. Some no names, some that have played for the Cowboys before, that have gashed them. If you are not playing sound football, if you're not in the right gaps, if you're not assignment sound, listen, I don't think Eberflus has put players in the best positions to win this year. I don't think he's doing a great job, but it also trickles down to the players knowing their assignment and executing. And I think Logan Wilson is going to help in that regard, not only himself, but the players around him. So I'm really excited for the addition of both linebackers. Are they going to start right away? We'll see how they're worked in. I would not be surprised if, I don't know if it's happening tonight, but sooner rather than later, Logan Wilson has the green dot on his helmet. And for some reason he can't go, I think then it would go to Overshown. So the linebacker room is almost completely remade. We'll see if Murray gets any time. Hope not. We'll see Damone Clark, how much he plays. We'll see where Maris Leofau is, but hopefully the addition of these guys lets other guys like Leofau just play a little bit more hair on fire. Let Leofau rush the passer, do what he does. So love the addition of those guys. And then we could talk about Savone Revel. I talked about him a little bit, but I don't know how much defense he's going to play. There are whispers that, they're going to get his feet wet, right? Obviously, he's the the 3rd round pick. Should have been a 1st round pick without injury from East Carolina. He's tall, he's lanky, he's athletic. Everybody loved him coming out of the draft, the cornerback. But he tore his ACL in college. Took him a little bit longer, I believe, than they expected for him to rehab. He had a bit of a setback. But he's active. He's ready to go. But what the whispers are is they may have him play a little bit more special teams than defense to start, get his feet wet in the NFL, see how the injury is going for him now. and then go from there. So I think he will be an addition down the stretch, more so on the defensive side than he is tonight in Las Vegas. But excited to see him out on the field with the star on his helmet and actually playing football. And the last addition is the big one. Quentin Williams. Man. Some say stupid trade. Gave up one of the first round picks. Gave up a second round pick for a player for a team that's not a piece away. I get it. But as of right now, you have both first round picks in this draft coming up. Needed the Giants to beat the Packers yesterday. But you're picking around 14 and 21, 23 right now. I'll take that. So you get those two first round picks. And then essentially, your second round pick is Quentin Williams. And I'm going to say right now, there's nobody in the draft that's better than Quentin Williams in the second round. And then essentially your third round pick is George Pickens, who I think they're going to try and keep around and franchise tag if they need be. So you get two first round picks. You get Quentin Williams in the second. And you get George Pickens in the third. Yes, please. Especially the way that the Cowboys have drafted in the second round recently, except for Donovan Ezeraku, who has been playing well, and rest in peace to Marshawn Nealon. But other than that, Boss Man Fat, Tristan Hill, like it just doesn't happen in the second round for them. So you get Quinn Williams for basically a second round pick this year, and then one of the first next year, which is the better of the two firsts. I get that. But this dude is going to make an impact immediately. He gets back with White Cotton, the coach that he had on the defensive line in the Jets for his best years. People have said that he's fallen off just a bit. His numbers have fallen off just a bit, but they have been asking him to do things differently and play in situations and not attack the way that he was with the Jets this year. But I think with White Cotton, they're going to get him back to what is good for him, attacking up the front. He had 12 sacks one year, 12 from the defensive tackle position. I think his career is going to be rejuvenated leaving the New York Jets. I think when the lights are brightest, and we know they can't get much brighter than when you're playing with a star in your helmet for the Dallas Cowboys, he performs. I think he's going to make Osa Digizua much better, who's been handling double teams. It's going to free him up. I think it's also going to help Kenny Clark, who started off the season really strong, has fallen off a bit. I think it's also going to help Solomon Thomas, who's been playing really well this year. And that's all going to lead to helping your edges who need all the help they can get. But at a time where Donovan Ezeraku and Jadeveon Clowney are both starting to play better and attack the quarterback stronger, I'm thrilled with the addition. You have him for control the next 2.5 years. He plays well. They re-sign him. They tag him. They do what they need to do to keep him around. But we have not seen a defensive tackle around here like Quentin Williams since, I don't know, Jay Ratliff maybe even before then. It's good riddance to Mozzie Smith. It's a good day, Cowboys fans, for the addition of Quentin Williams. Be excited. We haven't had much to be excited for this year. Hell, we're 3-5-1. And some say that tie against the Packers was one of the most exciting days of the season. So be excited about this. He's a good player who has a chance to be a great player again at a position that this team has devalued, besides the first-round pick of Mozzie Smith, which turned out to be junk, or the other first-round pick of Taco Charlton, which turned out to be junk. This dude is a bona fide superstar who is already proven in the NFL, and you're going to plug him on the line, and he is going to do wonders for that defense. So that's the one I'm most excited about, besides Overshown, because of the story and the guy that we know who he is as well. I think he's going to help tremendously in the run game, and I can't wait to see what White Cotton has to do with him getting up the field in terms of rushing the passer. I've talked for almost 20 minutes and have not even mentioned the offense. How about that? I'm going to keep this short. The offense needs to just attack. Get back to what they do. Run game's supposed to travel. We got to get the run game to travel. Booker is another week healthier. BB's another week healthier. Hopefully, Tyler Smith is also another week healthier. Hopefully, this offensive line meshes and cohesive and can play as a unit. Dak Prescott gets back to what Dak Prescott does. I want to see them attacking with CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. Don't get cute. Attack the scrubs. Try and do what you can do to keep Max Crosby as much of a non-factor as possible. They did a really nice job doing that against Micah Parsons earlier this year. So you need to try and contain him, even though we know that Max Crosby is going to want to go off in this game because he's from Dallas. He's got a Cowboys tattoo, and he was all the buzz for a day and a half that he was being traded to the Cowboys. On national TV, in his home, you know Max Crosby is going to want a 3-sack game. So do whatever you can. Chip on every play. Get Ferguson over there. Get Schoonmaker over there. Have Javonte Williams chipping him every time he runs out on a route. Do whatever you need to do to keep him in control. And then attack the safeties and attack the corners. I don't think there's a guy on this team in that secondary that can stop the likes of both George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb together. Attack down the field. And then hit Ferguson over the middle for one of those seam routes that we need to hit so badly that just seems to be lost this year. Get up early and then let Quinn Williams and the boys try and get after Geno Smith. This defense, I think, with the addition of the new guys coming back, getting their feet wet, I think it would be very advantageous for them to play with a lead. This is one of the times where I may say take the ball first. I'm usually a defer guy, but if you can take the ball and go down the field and go up 7-0, have the defense take a deep breath and then go out there and get the guys' feet wet, have them get acclimated to the Cowboys' structure and how they play defense, I think that will help out tremendously. All in all, I think the Cowboys should win this game and will win this game. I think it may be a little tighter than people think, but go out, get a road victory, move to 4-5-1, and then we are on to hate week in the Philadelphia Eagles at home. So another night game. Cowboys are here. First time in Vegas. Reinforcements are here. New guys are here. It's going to be fun. New look Dallas Cowboys defense. And the offense, just do what you do. Put up points. Put up yards. Let this defense play a little more free. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Enjoy Monday Night Football with the Cowboys in Vegas. I am KMess for Birds vs. Boys. If you have not yet, make sure you smash that subscribe button, like, and comment below what you think is going to happen in this game. And make sure you're following us everywhere we are in terms of podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and anywhere on social media. Birds vs. Boys Pod, TikTok, Instagram, probably on Facebook. We're definitely on Twitter. Enjoy all of our nonsense there, as well as we head into Hate Week next week. Cowboys looking to go 4-5-1 on the road in Vegas.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone. If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach. That is
Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year!
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.